What's up, Internet Land? This is Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, bringing you another Transformers third-party review. This review is brought to you by Titan One Toys. Titan One Toys is your number one choice for toys and collectibles, as it says. And the dude's awesome. Give him a message. Anyhow, the figure that we're reviewing today is the XTransbots Toro. Oh, geez, he's tiny. He's a little dude. Bring my tripod down a little bit. So, this one kind of looks like Cliff Jumper, but it's definitely not Cliff Jumper because we've never gotten a Cliff Jumper, right? And I mentioned in my review of the XTransbots crack-up that that some of the XTransbots figures are kind of good and some of them are kind of suck. This is actually one that's kind of good. So maybe it's becoming a trend. I don't know. I say mostly good because it's still got bam, like half of the car hanging out right here. But you know, it's dealable. We can deal with it. We're not Ultra Magnus, so we can't deal with that right now. But yeah, Cliff Jumper. He's actually a pretty nice looking Cliff Jumper right now. The only other Cliff Jumper we have is I'm trying to remember what this guy's called. Alpha something. I don't remember. But this guy had some good ideas, but just a bad execution. First of all, he just straight up just used the same transformation more or less as the Masterpiece Bumblebee. So there was like no real innovation there. And secondly, he utilized a lot of this die-cast on die-cast joints like this. And of course the tolerances for die-cast is iffy at best. And so those are like hella floppy, and like parts of this is like hella floppy, and even some of their plastic joints, it's like hella floppy. And just because he's got die cast in here and in here and in here and in here and in here, like basically mostly his whole foot from the knee down is die cast, and so he's like all like kind of floppy. Anyhow, so this is all that we're comparing him against, and yeah, I think he's leaps and bounds better than this one. I mean, just straight up, just looking at him, you know, he's got the faux chest going on, and I know some people were like really like torn about that, but I think that it works pretty well. This guy's not even crotching up properly. I don't even know. But I think that the faux chest looks it looks right. You know, it allows him to have, you know, an alt mode that doesn't look stupid while having a robot mode that doesn't simultaneously look stupid. Yeah, as a result, we've had to like basically do this for the entire, like, you know, I mean, we're talking 2/3 of the cars right here. And that's also a point of contention with people, but I think that can be fixed. Let's compare him with Masterpiece Bumblebee, because, you know, seeing as how they're both mini-bots, this is probably going to be a pretty good comparison for them. I think aesthetically they really kind of hit it off, you know, and you'll notice as a Masterpiece figure, he's got some faux details going on as well, even for a Masterpiece. Just saying, we get a few of these things coming around too. I think that they look good together. This guy needs an Autobot logo right there, and then he'll be perfect, pretty much. Well, I mean that and something to address this, but you know, I tell people that, you know, a figure is mostly perfect or whatnot. That's a phrase that I use in my reviews from time to time. I would consider a figure perfect in that when it does everything it's supposed to, and everything looks right, and nothing looks at it and you just really like think like, oh my gosh, why didn't they do it like this, or why didn't they do it like that? You know. So anyhow, I think this figure is mostly perfect. Once we fix that, which I've got issues. I've got ways to address that. I'm gonna make a second video to just show a really simple thing you can do with Toro. But anyhow, he comes with a pile of accessories, which is kind of nice. We'll just take this and start yanking them off of this thing here. Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's all of his robot mode accessories. So he comes with let me see, this guy here. I've been trying to figure out just exactly how to make this work. I've got instructions, but I'm lazy. Or no, maybe it fits right over. Yeah. So you can have like a Mega Man arm blaster, like so. Go like pew 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 pew. And of course he can hold all these. He's got 3 different guns, which I can only assume that he's got like 3 different guns that he uses in the series, whether for just like one shot of animation or not. Maybe the animators couldn't figure out what gun they stuck him with, and so so his gun changes periodically. But XTransbots was like, you know what, we're gonna give you all of them. So yeah, they all fit into his hand the same way, in that they've got their little handle and a little pin inside the handle. Oh geez. Oh geez. That's not cool. Some stressing on that. Remind me not to put that back in the sled, because this is not, it's not ending well for that. This is the one that fits the tightest of these 3 in its little handle, so I'm going to not put that back in there. He also comes with this stick, so he can be like Darth Maul. He can stick the stick and go like da 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 da. So I'm like, I knew whatever the like Star Wars karate was called, Teras Kasi or something like that. Which, by the way, I was totally blown away to find a reference to that crappy game in the Solo film. Yeah, and then he's got his big gas cannon, I think they call it. And that fits, again, just the same as all these other ones. Come on. Where's that hole? Bam. In there. And he can hold it out like this, or it'll angle like that. So he can kind of prop it up on his shoulder. Which I think is really cool. Because that way he can be like, yeah, guess who's got a big ass gun? I know what the ladies like. And that's it for his accessories. Let me get these all out of the way. In terms of articulation, he's got a head, and it moves around. It's on apparently 2 mushroom pegs, which I didn't even realize till I was moving around just now. Oh, maybe it's a little ball joint on the top and a mushroom peg on the bottom. I think that's how that works. He's got his shoulders. There's a little bit of a transformation joint here, but it's going to be kind of stiff. He's got your basic ball joint here. It's going to go all the way around, go out for full tree pose. He's got upper bicep swivel, 1 elbow joint for 90 degrees of bend. He's got a wrist swivel. All 4 fingers move together. He does have, this is a transformation joint, but like I just showed with his gun, you can get some other work out of that. He does have ab crunch, yeah. Waist swivel. Legs are going to go forwards all that much, backs all that much out. for the full Van Damme. His knee will bend backwards. So he's got one of them in here is an actual knee joint, which goes about 90 degrees, and then he's got a transformation joint, which maybe you can squeeze a little bit more out of it. But if you start using that too deep, you're going to find that it really brings to notice that that second joint is far below his shin. Universal style joint here on this angle with no rotation, but that's all right. But yeah, he's a pretty fun little figure. Decent amount of articulation and posability on it, and it works out pretty good. Let's get him transformed up. So first thing you want to do is you want to pull out all of his car parts like this, and it's just going to extend out all the way. We're going to flip these sides up like this. We're going to flip the tires. Oh, that one's really stiff. This one's not so bad. Up like that. This window kind of pops out a little bit for the tires to have clearance. We're going to take that and pop that back into place. There's the back of his car. We're going to just park that there for a moment. We're going to come around here to his back. We're going to pull out these doors. And they've got little windows on them. Yeah. Fold that out. Out and out. Alright, now we're going to take his head, flip that around, put that in like so. We're going to take his arms, we're going to kind of put them up like this. And then these are going to flip around like that. You can flip them around this way, but you got to like force them past things and it doesn't feel as nice. The hands here, you're going to turn them at the bicep swivel 180 degrees so that this joint is facing up. Then you're going to turn them so the back of the hand is facing up. They're going to fold back and then open the hands like that. Then each one of these is going to compress down. That is the way the hands are supposed to be. For the legs, we're going to extend out this panel here, bring up the tire, again with the other side, that panel and the tire. Then we're going to, using this joint here and this joint here, we're going to collapse this down like so, all the way. And then what we're going to do is as we're bringing this into position, what we need to do is we need to move this hood up. And there's a tab under this hood that's going to fit into this slot on the front of the shin. It's going to kind of click in there a little bit. But this hood is it's a little bit tricky to do. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. I'm okay to be wrong. Alright, once we've got all this into position, then we're going to kind of tab these in. Maybe I didn't need to tab them in yet. I don't know. Now we're going to take this. This is going to fold flat against there. And then this is going to come around. You're going to fit it all into place. There's these little tabs. Whoa, let me put this back in the camera. There's these little tabs right here, little slots in these doors right here, and you're just going to fit that in like so. Make sure that these tabs that stick out the front of the windshield go underneath like that. And then it's just a matter of getting all of your tabs aligned. Yeah, there we go. And there you go. There he is in his car mode, and he's a little Porsche Porsche. One of these is right. Porsche. There we go. Now I've got all my bases covered. And he rolls. And he rolls. And he's got smooth tires. Smooth plastic tires. I like plastic tires personally. I know a lot of people have got like some like, you know, hard on for rubber tires. But I've never had a good experience with rubber tires. They always seem to crack eventually. They always seem to break down eventually. Nothing lasts forever, to use a little bit of that Buddhist common sense. And rubber tires are a prime example of that. But yeah, he makes for a little Porsche, and he's cool. He's nice. He's fun. He does have some accessories that he uses in this mode. Specifically, you'll notice that this has got this like weird looking on the bottom. Well, there's a air scoop, and this is actually a feature that's on the actual car, by the way, and it's a feature that's on the G1 toy, by the way. We can stick that into there, and now he's got like a little antenna for like radio controlling things, and this other one here fits in just the same way, and it's like a little gun. It's got like a little gun in his vehicle mode, but it's not like a crazy like sticks out like massively huge on top gun like so many of the Masterpiece figures are so keen on doing. Last but not least, if we take this and pull this red section off, now we've got like a little like car sled, because at one point he had sleds come out of his tires, and now we can do that. He no longer rolls, but he does fit in it nicely. So he doesn't like lock in, like just gravity will take that off, but he fits in well enough. But yeah, that's it for my review of XTransbots Toro. I think he's a pretty decent figure. If you need a cliff jumper for your collection and you're not interested in getting this one, then get this one. Anyhow, everybody, thanks for watching. You're all awesome, and have a fantastic day. Everybody be good to each other, and I'll see you around. See ya. Bye.